So, 8:30, Saturday the 31st of August 2024, and we are in Victoria Park, Widnes. Quite quiet at the minute. I'm sure it'll get a bit noisier as the parkrun goes on, but at the minute it's quite a silent Widnes we're in. I've been working on that one all morning.
It's a really pretty park. If you've not been to Widnes, I really recommend it. It's got the beautiful memorial at the top there, which you'll see on this video, obviously. Observatory. We've got, what's this called?
It's called a bandstand.
Oh yeah, a bandstand.
A bandstand. Today's word, bandstand.
It's got a cafe. You have to park on the outskirts of the park, but there's no problem there. There was plenty of parking. But yeah, what a beautiful park.
So this happened to be the morning that Oasis tickets were being released, and the run director had plenty of Oasis related puns at the briefing.
If you want a bit of morning glory.
So we recorded the whole of Widnes Parkrun on point of view camera, so we're going to take you through Widnes Parkrun stats and some facts about the town itself.
On 3, 2, 1, off we go, enjoy!
So on this particular morning we were taking part in Widnes Parkrun event number 422. It started all the way back in 2015. Generally the amount of finishers is around the 300 to 400 range. The amount of volunteers is in the high teens or low 20s. Widnes Parkrun takes place in Victoria Park, Widnes, and it is a 3 and a bit lap course. It's one of the quicker courses in Parkrun world. Out of 700 odd courses in the UK, it ranks at number 9 on the Power of 10 list produced by Tim Gross. So if you do come and visit Widnes Parkrun, it might be well worth bringing your racing shoes with you. And the pacey nature of the course is reflected in the course records, which currently stand at 14:56 for the fastest male time and 16:52 for the fastest female time. And as you can see from the footage, even less than a quarter of a mile into the course, the paths are nice and wide, the tarmac is nice and smooth. So as I said, it's all set fair if you want to run a fast parkrun. And it's also set fair if, like me, you like looking at the history of the parks that runs take place in, because there's certainly lots to see and comment on this park. And when we go around the second lap, I'll take you through some of the more interesting features that you will see if you go to Victoria Park in Widnes. So a really nice long straight here where you can really get into pace and rhythm, and that's another reason why this course is so potentially quick. Also the bends, as you'll see when we come to them, aren't sharp bends, there's no U-turns going back on yourself, they flow really nicely. So towards the bottom end of the park you swing a gentle left turn. And then you go around this lovely lake. This is probably the narrowest part of the parkrun route. You can see a chap there running on the grass behind the benches to overtake a few people, and it's certainly something to watch out for when runners are coming past on the third lap. But still, lovely morning in Victoria Park, Widnes, and we're thoroughly enjoying this very scenic parkrun. So just coming off the lake section now and back onto the main part of the park. You can see another chap just in front of us here in his 500 vest. I think there were 3 of us in the 500 club today, but as parkrun continues there'll be more and more people achieving those personal milestones in terms of parkrun completion. So on our right you can just see us coming up to Esposito's ice cream parlour and coffee house. It's a family run business that's been operating in the park for over 40 years. Now in terms of this park, it is the holder of a green flag. It's been voted or awarded one of the best 10 parks in the UK. Now this really demonstrates the Victorian park in its absolute epitome. So the town of Widnes was heavily associated with the chemical industry stretching back to 1847, and obviously that produces a lot of pollution. In 1888, the town of Widnes was described as the dirtiest, ugliest and most depressing town in England. And in 1905 as a poisonous hell town, where the sun never comes, where foul gases belch forth day and night and rot the clothes, teeth and the bodies of the workers, killing every tree and every blade of grass for miles around. So you can see there was an urgent need for a lovely park for the people of Widnes, and this particular park was opened in the year 1900. Now in the early years of parkrun, we took part in a lot of runs that were held in Victorian parks that had been built with the best intentions in mind but had fallen into disuse and disrepair. And Parkrun was part of a great initiative that got our old municipal industrial parks like this one back up and being used regularly. So Parkrun did a great job there in helping to renovate and re-engage people in their local parks. Just passing by the cafe on the left, going through the start line now. The cafe is also an Esposito one, so well worth visiting after the Parkrun if you have time. So there we have it, cast our minds back to 1900 and we have one of the most beautiful parks in the UK being opened in an area that was one of the most polluted and poisonous for the inhabitants. So you've got the real dichotomy there of these great parks in the locations in which they were opened. So just about to pass the town's very imposing war memorial here on the right. It contains the names of 818 people who were killed in the First World War and 256 in the Second World War. It was originally opened in 1921 and then rededicated in 1950 when the names of those who fell in the Second World War were added. Also just passing on the left, the lovely Glass House and Butterfly House. They run regular events there. Also on the left you can see a fountain there that was erected in honour of William Gladstone, the man who was Prime Minister on 4 different occasions I think in the Victorian era. We've also just passed a milestone, not a Parkrun milestone but a literal milestone, that was hit by Zeppelin bombing in the First World War, and it was removed to the park as a memorial to those who died and those who suffered during that particular raid on the town of Widnes. So that particular corner of the park is absolutely brimming with history, and as you can guess, we had a walk around there afterwards to take it all in. So back on this lovely straight bit here, it is actually slightly downhill on the way down to the bottom of the park. There's probably a very slight decline here and then a slight incline coming up back past the ice cream parlour. So bear that in mind if you're trying to run even splits. Our run today, we'll just take it easy because Dawn had raced the previous evening at the Mid Cheshire 5k and we'd entered the South Cheshire 20 for the day after. So for us, despite the course being potentially very quick, we were just out to enjoy a social run. It was lovely to meet a few people we knew from Parkrun and to meet a few more new people who watched the channel and came to say hello to us. Always much appreciated. So yeah, we were just out to enjoy running in this lovely park which we'd never been to before, and we're so glad we chose this Parkrun when we were in the area. So just rounding the lake for the second time here, as you can see this park holds its regular attendance of between 300 and 400 quite nicely on this 3-loop course. Now as we were running this, Bushy Parkrun was celebrating its 1000th event, but with over 6,200 runners taking part. So if you were at Parkrun on the 31st of August, where were you? Did you attend the special event at Bushy Park for the 1000th run there? Were you at your regular local Parkrun? Or were you like us, on tour, somewhere new and somewhere different? So a few more fun facts about Widnes. When I was growing up, Widnes was renowned for having a very strong rugby league club. They were probably the strongest around in the country in the late 1980s, early 1990s, against their rivals Wigan and teams from the city I came from, Hull. Widnes has been home to several people reckoned to be celebrities. We have the controversial footballer Joey Barton, somebody called Ray Quinn from something called Dancing on Ice, and the X Factor, and Melanie Chisholm, who I believe was Mel C from the Spice Girls. That's really stretching the limits of my cultural landscape there. And probably the favourite fact I unearthed when researching for this video is that the Simon and Garfunkel song Homeward Bound was actually written on Widnes Station. Ironically, Paul Simon wasn't homeward bound because after playing a one-night gig in Widnes, he then went on to Hull and Manchester before moving down to London. So if you're doing Widnes Parkrun and fancy a trip to Widnes Station, you will see a plaque there telling you that Paul Simon wrote the famous song Homeward Bound whilst waiting for a train there. So you can just see some of the leaders starting to pass us now, plenty of space for them to overtake, so they get a nice unimpeded run too, which is good to see. Remember, parkrun is for everybody, from the first finisher through to the person who finishes just in front of the tail walker. And given we highlighted the bandstand earlier, there it is on the right. The original bandstand was installed in 1903, shortly after the park was opened, but the current one was installed in the year 2006 and it was made in Glasgow. So just rounding up here again to the most historically interesting part of the park. And once you pass the War Memorial and swing a right, just on your left, and I would really take time to visit this, is a statue of a man called Thomas Mottershead. Now, he was awarded the Victoria Cross in 1917. He was a member of the Royal Flying Corps, and he was the only non-commissioned officer in the Royal Flying Corps to get a Victoria Cross in the war. The statue was actually erected on the 1st of April 2018, so 100 years as we celebrated, or not celebrated, but commemorated the anniversary of that terrible conflict. So as again, I said earlier, this is my favourite part of the park in terms of historic interest. Make sure you check it out, having run past it on 3 occasions, and contemplate how we have the freedom to enjoy such things as parkrun, and maybe consider the lives of the people who came before us. So as you're around the lake for the final time, we hope you are enjoying our visit to Widnes Parkrun. We hope you're finding the video informative, both in terms of parkrun tourism if you want to visit here, and in terms of appreciating the historic interest and culture of Widnes and its beautiful Victoria Park. If you are, please consider giving this video a like, and if you'd like to subscribe and see our further parkrun journeys and other running things that we do, then please subscribe to the channel. So just passing by the start area for the 3rd time, and then we've got one small loop again past the War Memorial and the historic part of the park before we loop back round and finish right near that famous bandstand. Is there anything at your local parkrun often makes you stop and think about things beyond the parkrun and that morning? Let us know in the comments below if there's anything that means something in particular that is special to you. So just rounding into the finish area now, really enjoyed those 3 and a bit laps of Victoria Park in Widnes. It's a great effort from all the volunteers, as normal, making sure that this parkrun has run smoothly once again. On to a little promotion here, being held by Widnes Running Club, free cake on offer. One of the really good things about Parkrun as a grassroots sport organisation is that it has brought many new people into running. It's helped a boost in running clubs over the last 15 to 20 years, so a really good spin-off from Parkrun there, and a really nice cake for Dawn and for me. Nice to chat to a few people after Parkrun who watch our channel, and if you do see us at Parkrun or a race or anywhere around, please do come and say hello. We always like meeting people and finding out what they like about this channel. So as well as serving as a place for music and entertainment, you can see the bandstand is also in use as a repository for jackets and anything else people might want to put on after the Parkrun. So Widnes Parkrun done, nice easy pace. Yeah, that's why we enjoyed Widnes Parkrun this morning. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see our further running adventures, please subscribe to the channel. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.